Hello again, everybody. This lesson we're looking at Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day. We're not going to do the whole song. I'm going to call this chapter 1 and we'll get about halfway through, but this definitely has all the best drum bits in it, so let's check it out. At the start of part 1, we have crash cymbals in a pattern that goes like this, with a fill at the end that I'll play slowly for you first time through. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. That quick triplet fill at the end is a little bit hard on the hands, but it's a rhythm that we're going to use a bunch throughout this section, so do grab it now because we're going to use it over and over again. Moving on, we're over onto the hi-hats and we've got our first beat. The fill at the end this time is the same rhythm as the first 4 bars, but this time we're splitting it between the toms and adding a kick at the end. It's 2 toms, 2 on the rack tom, 2 on the floor tom, with a kick drum at the end, and it goes... triple a TT, if that helps you remember the sound. We repeat back to the very beginning again, up on the crash cymbals, and then the second time through we have a different fill going into our next section. Play through that whole intro section just so it makes sense. For our next groove, we are up on the crash cymbal with a pretty classic kind of punk beat. Then we have a riff section, or like a post-chorus section, and the groove for that goes like this. From there we go right back to the beginning and play everything the same up to this point. The only difference is one time in those crashes section right at the beginning, instead of coming onto the snare, we go down onto the toms. So that would sound like this. And also at the very end of our post-chorus leading into the drum solo section, the ending is just a tiny bit different. Now we're up to the drum solo, so I'll go slowly. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense to you and you can practice it up and play this section because it will be really great. It's a really fun solo to play. We start out with those same crashes as the beginning, then we're into some 4-stroke roughs, same crashes again, then we have a little rhythm and some bucket of fish down the kit. Let me show you what I mean. make it even slower just so you can catch a few more of those parts. So the only trick I think in terms of the actual sticking is right at the end there, where we have that 4-stroke rough with an extra snare drum at the end. Play 2 left hands so that you can play right hand and make that bucket of fish go straight down the kit. Bucket of fish. Now I'll play it up to speed. So I hope we're having fun so far. We get a little break because we go back into the groove for 4 bars, and that just sounds like this. And then we fire up the last part of this drum solo with some really syncopated patterns between the snare drum and the toms, with the kicks going right throughout. I'll play it slowly. I hope you got the idea there. Let's go even slower, just so you can definitely grab it. The sticking for the syncopated pattern in the second bar, I really like using right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. That just keeps you nice and open, and it means that you finish out on your right hand so you're ready for the next section again. Let me play those 4 bars up to speed. We head back up to the crash cymbals one more time, then we're chilling things out and moving on to part 2. Let me play through the first 4 bars of part 2. The first 2 bars, pretty chilled out. The second 2 bars get a little bit heavier and we have some driving 8th note kick drums. Sounds like this. Here's the next 4 bars, and it's really similar stuff. That brings us into the properly heavy section where we're up onto our crash cymbal and we're playing some 16th notes on the kick drum, but luckily this tempo is pretty forgiving and it's pretty easy to get those kicks in just using single kicks like this. And once again, the next 4 bars are very similar. From there, we repeat that whole section of part 2 that we've already done. There are a couple of tiny changes, but they're so small, I don't think I'm going to go in and show you exactly what's going on, because it's just going to take up even more time. So let's skip straight ahead to the end of part 2, where we end up with this big fill between the snare drum and the kick drums that sounds like this. So it's just groups of 3 between the crash and the kick drum, 1 snare and crash, 2 kick drums in 16th notes. So if you've done this sort of thing before, it's going to be nice and easy. Let me play it up to speed. If you're playing along to the song, you might notice that that fill does speed up just a tiny bit, but that helps us to get straight into 6/8, which is where we're at, part 3. So once you've wrapped your head around the fact that we're in 6/8 now, the only other tricky bit for part 3 is that those fills at the end with the triplets come out on the left hand when we hit the next bar. So just be prepared to hit a crash cymbal with your left hand instead of your right hand when you start all over again. A couple of the fills do change just a little bit, so here's another variation. And here's one more variation on the toms. So that one is a little bit more frantic, but if you take it slowly at first, you'll be able to speed it up. Let me play the very end of part 3, because we just have a sneaky 2 full bar, and that's going to kick us into part 4. That brings us to the start of part 4, but the end of this lesson. Just so it doesn't get too long, I'm going to split it up. If you like it, let me know in the comments below and I'll start working on the second part. But otherwise, I hope you've had fun. I hope you can nail that drum solo, because it's definitely one of the best bits in this song. Happy practicing, and I'll see you at the next lesson.